What if I told you that 5 minutes, not 1 hour, not 30 minutes, just five, could be the most powerful investment you make in your English this year?
You would probably think that sounds too simple to be true.
And that reaction is completely understandable because we have all been told that big results require big effort. Long study sessions, thick textbooks, complicated grammar exercises.
But here is what most people never hear. The research on habit building tells a completely different story. Small actions done consistently beat large actions done occasionally, every single time.
5 minutes every day is 365 practice sessions in 1 year. 1 hour once a week is only 52.
Which one builds a stronger habit?
The answer might surprise you, and today we're going to show you exactly how to build the 5 minute English habit that actually sticks and why it works better than anything else most learners are currently doing.
Welcome to Easy English Learning. I'm Clive.
And I'm Belen. Stay with us because by the end of this episode, you will have one small but powerful habit ready to start today. Let us get into it.
Belen, I want to ask you something directly. Have you ever set a big English study goal or any kind of learning goal and then abandoned it after a week or two?
Honestly, yes, and more than once. I remember setting a goal to study a new language for 45 minutes every evening after work. The first 3 days were great. Day 4, I was tired and skipped it. Day 5, I felt guilty and tried to do 90 minutes to compensate. Day 6, I was exhausted and quit entirely.
That cycle, motivation, skip, guilt, overcompensate, quit, is one of the most common patterns in language learning. So what changed for you? How did you eventually break out of that cycle?
The change came when I stopped thinking about how much time I should spend and started thinking about how little time I actually needed. I asked myself, what is the smallest possible action I can do every single day without fail? And the answer was 5 minutes. Just five. No excuses possible for 5 minutes.
And did that actually feel like enough to make a difference?
That was exactly my doubt, too. 5 minutes felt almost embarrassingly small. But what I discovered was that 5 minutes every day built something that 45 minutes occasionally never could. A real habit. Something my brain started expecting and even looking forward to. And more often than not, 5 minutes turned into 10 or 15 naturally, but the commitment was always just five.
The commitment was small enough that it could never be broken, and that consistency was the real secret.
Clive, let us help our listeners understand why 5 minutes work so well. Because I think a lot of people need to hear the reason before they will believe the result.
The reason comes down to how habits are actually built in the brain. Every time you do something repeatedly, your brain creates a small neural pathway. Think of it like a path through a field of tall grass. The first time you walk through, the grass is high, and the path is hard to see. But every time you walk the same path again, the grass flattens a little more. The path gets clearer, easier, more automatic.
So each 5 minute English session is one walk through the grass. And over days and weeks, the path becomes a clear, easy route that your brain follows without resistance.
Exactly, but here is the critical part. The path only forms if you walk it regularly. One long walk through the grass once a week does not flatten the path. Daily short walks do.
So consistency is more powerful than duration when it comes to building habits.
Completely. And there is a great idiom that captures this perfectly. A chain is only as strong as its daily links. It means the strength of a habit comes from the unbroken daily connection, not from how hard you work on any single day. Every 5-minute session is one link. and the chain grows stronger every day you add a new link.
Miss one day and the chain does not break, but miss many days and the links rust. Small and daily keeps the chain strong. Clive, let me share a story now that really shows this habit in action, because I think our listeners will see themselves in this person very clearly.
Please go ahead. A real story always makes these ideas land in a way that explanation alone cannot.
Meet Amara. She is 29 years old, a nurse working night shifts in a hospital in Germany. Her schedule is unpredictable. Some days she works 12-hour shifts, some days she has unexpected overtime. She barely has time to eat properly, let alone study.
That is an incredibly demanding life. So, how did English learning even fit into that picture?
For a long time, it did not. Amar had tried 3 different English apps over 2 years. Each time she started with enthusiasm, fell behind during a difficult week at work, and deleted the app out of frustration. She told us, every time I missed a few days, I felt like I'd failed. So I stopped. Again and again, I stopped.
That feeling of failure after missing days is something so many learners experience. It is the guilt that kills the habit more than the missed days themselves.
That is a really important distinction. The missed days were not the real problem. The belief that missing days meant failure, that was the real problem. And it kept resetting her to zero every time. So, what changed for Amara was a conversation with a colleague who was also learning English. Her colleague said something simple that stayed with her. Stop trying to be perfect, just try to be present. 5 minutes counts. Even on your worst days, 5 minutes counts.
5 minutes counts even on your worst days. That is such a powerful reframe. So, how did Amara actually build her 5-minute habit?
She attached it to something she already did without fail every single day, her morning coffee. Before she did anything else in the morning, while her coffee was still hot in her hands, she spent 5 minutes on one specific English activity. Some mornings, she listened to 2 minutes of an English podcast and repeated key sentences. Some mornings, she wrote 3 sentences about how she was feeling in English. Some mornings, she simply read one short paragraph from an English article she found interesting.
So, the activity could change, but the time, the trigger, and the 5-minute commitment stayed fixed.
Exactly. The coffee was the trigger. 5 minutes was the promise. What she did inside those 5 minutes could be flexible. And that flexibility removed the pressure that had broken her previous attempts. After 8 weeks, Amara sent us a message. She said, I have not missed a single morning in 8 weeks. I did 5 minutes on the day after a 12-hour night shift. I did 5 minutes on my birthday. I did 5 minutes when I was upset and tired. It is part of my morning now. It belongs there.
It belongs there. When a habit belongs to your day, it has become real. That is exactly what consistent small practice builds. Not just vocabulary or grammar, but a real relationship between you and English. So, how do our listeners build their own 5-minute habit? Belen, let us walk through 3 specific steps.
Tip 1. Attach your 5 minutes to something you already do every day. This is called habit stacking. You take a habit that already exists in your day, morning coffee, brushing teeth, waiting for your commute to start, and you attach your English 5 minutes directly to it.
Why does attaching it to an existing habit work better than just setting a reminder or a goal?
Because existing habits are already automatic. Your brain does not debate whether to make coffee in the morning. It just does it. When you attach English to that automatic action, English gets pulled along for free. The existing habit becomes the trigger, and English becomes the response. Over time, your brain starts to expect both together.
So you borrow the strength of an existing habit to launch a new one. That is a really smart approach. What is tip 2?
Tip 2, choose one activity and rotate it across 3 options. One of the reasons people quit small habits is decision fatigue. Every day they ask themselves, what should I do for my 5 minutes today? That question takes energy. And on tired days, the answer becomes nothing.
So how does rotating 3 options solve that?
You prepare 3 simple English activities in advance. Option A, listen to 2 minutes of English audio and repeat one sentence out loud. Option B, write 3 English sentences about your day right now. Option C, read one short paragraph of English content you genuinely find interesting. Every morning, you simply choose A, B, or C. No thinking required. No searching for content. No decisions about what to study. Just pick a letter and begin.
3 options, all prepared, always ready. That removes every possible excuse for not starting. Tip 3?
Tip 3. Measure your streak visibly. Get a small calendar. On your wall, on your phone, anywhere you see every day. Every morning after your 5 minutes, mark that day. A tick, a star, a cross, anything.
Why does making it visible matter so much?
Because seeing a growing line of marks creates something called a visual commitment. You start to feel protective of your streak. Missing a day does not just mean missing practice. It means breaking a visible record that you built with your own effort. That visual record becomes a source of quiet pride and a powerful reason to keep going even on difficult days. There is an idiom for this. What gets measured gets managed. It means the things we track are the things we actually do consistently. Invisible habits fade. Visible habits stick.
Mark every day. Watch the chain grow. Feel the satisfaction of something visible and real building in front of you. Vocabulary time. 4 words from today. Belen, shall we go through them?
Let us do it. And remember, your job is not just to hear these words. Build one sentence with one of them, right now, out loud, or in the comments. That is your 5-minute habit starting today. Word 1, consistent. Consistent means doing something regularly over time without large gaps. Not perfectly, but repeatedly. Consistent is the most important quality in any learning habit. I am not the fastest learner, but I am consistent. I do 5 minutes every single morning.
Word 2, momentum. Momentum means the energy and forward movement that builds when you keep doing something repeatedly, like a ball rolling down a hill. The longer it rolls, the faster and easier it moves. After 3 weeks of daily practice, I felt real momentum. Starting became easier every morning.
Word 3, trigger. A trigger is something that automatically starts another action. In habit building, a trigger is the existing event that launches your new habit. Your morning coffee can be a trigger for your 5-minute English practice. My trigger is making breakfast. The moment I switch on the kettle, I start my 5 minutes.
Word 4, commitment. A commitment is a serious promise you make to yourself or others, and then follow through on. A commitment is stronger than a goal because a goal is something you hope to do. A commitment is something you decide you will do. My commitment is 5 minutes every day, not 1 hour sometimes, 5 minutes always.
One word, one sentence. Yours, out loud right now or written below. 5 minutes from now, you will have already started your new habit.
Belen, can you tie everything together for our listeners before we finish?
Of course. Here is what we learned today. Big results do not always come from big efforts. They come from small efforts that never stop. 5 minutes every day builds a path that your brain starts to follow automatically. until English becomes a natural, expected part of your morning. Not a burden, not a task, just something that belongs there.
3 things to do starting tomorrow morning. Attach your 5 minutes to something you already do every day. Prepare 3 simple English activity options so you never waste time deciding. And mark every completed day somewhere visible so your streak becomes something worth protecting.
And remember, Amara, night shifts, exhaustion, no time. And still 5 minutes every single morning for 8 weeks without missing one. Not because she had more willpower than anyone else, because she made her habit small enough that willpower was never needed.
The chain is built one link at a time. Start your first link today.
Tell us in the comments. What will your 5-minute trigger be? What existing habit will you attach your English practice to? Your answer might be exactly the idea another listener needs to hear.
And if today gave you one small but real shift in how you think about learning, please like this video, subscribe to Easy English Learning, and share it with one person who keeps saying they do not have time to learn English.
Because after today, 5 minutes is all the time they need. This was Easy English Learning. I'm Belaine.
And I'm Clive. Keep showing up, keep building, and we will see you in the next episode. Until then, be consistent and be proud of every small step.